Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Here is the Saban's Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. This is a big, gigantic box. I think this is really cool artwork that's on it. The back of the box does not show you what comes inside of it. It really just shows some of the bad guys there. It's very cool artwork all the way around, but I'm not a huge fan of a box that doesn't tell you what is inside. Let's crack this open and see what is going on inside this box. As soon as you open it up, you're going to have a ton of miniatures inside here. We'll take a look at each of these. So let's put these aside and we'll come back to it. You are going to get some new locations, which we'll take a look at. The Stone Quarry, which can hold 7. At the start of each battle, 1 ranger suffers 2 damage. You have the Power Plant that can cover 6. At the start of each battle, in this location, you gain a crystal. That's pretty nifty. The Dockyard, which will have 5. At the start of each battle in this location, you drain a crystal. And finally, the Shopping Mall, which can only hold 4. At the start of each battle in this location, the lead ranger deals 1 hit to an enemy card of their choice. Very positive location for the Power Rangers. You're going to have some more miniatures, and you can easily see that there's not little indentions that you're used to. They kind of get mixed up in there. And finally, at the bottom, we have some more miniatures that we're going to see. We're going to have some cards, which we'll look at in a few minutes. We have some additional cards of monsters that we'll take a look at. We're going to have some tokens and such that are in here. And in addition, more and more cards. So big box expansion. Let's set this aside and start peeking out what's inside the box. First thing we're going to see is Mighty Morphin White, Tommy Oliver. He is once per battle. When any ranger reveals a card for defense, you may add a shield to that card. Mighty Morphin Green Loner. If you're only player with a ranger in your location, you may add 1 dice to your attacks. That's a really, really good one. Legacy of the Dragon Shield, Mighty Morphin Red. During setup, add the Dragon Shield, Mighty Morphin, and Dragon Dagger, Mighty Morphin Red cards to your starting hand. Rebel Ranger Slayer, Finishing Shot. After the last enemy in the combat sequence revolves, deal 1 hit to an enemy card of your choice. So she can give you like a last minute hit there. Mighty Morphin Red. Once per battle, a ranger of your choice may reroll any numbers. We've seen that. That's the original one. Once per battle, a ranger of your choice may draw 1 card and then place a card in the hand back on top. Hip Hop Kiddo. Once per battle, after you defeat an enemy card with an attack, you may deal 1 hit to another enemy adjacent to the target. At the start of each battle, you may deal 1 hit to an enemy. Now, these are all what's in the initial set, okay? Once per battle, after you play a card, you may immediately play another card with the same name. And the Guardian Light. Once per battle, when any ranger reveals a card for defense, you may add 1 shield to that card. And there's the Loner card that we've already seen. Bravery. When you reveal a card for defense, if that card would be placed in the bottom of your deck, you may add it to your hand instead. Adaptable. Once per battle, you may swap a card from your hand with the top card of your discard pile. Here is Agile. When you suffer damage before revealing a card for defense, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them back. That's really, really helpful. Once per battle, after you defeat an enemy card with an attack, gain a crystal. It's always nice. So here's the white Tigerzoid. Exhaust this card when any ranger performs a maneuver to allow another ranger to immediately play 1 card with an energy cost of 0. Green has his Dragonzord. Exhaust this card when you defeat an enemy with an attack to deal excess hits from an attack to another enemy card. It's really helpful when you've got multiple people to beat. Exhaust this card to use the ability of another Zord that has been summoned. And then you're going to have the Alpha Loyal Robot. Ay. You cannot move from the command center. You cannot perform the battle action, but you may play cards in every battle, regardless of location. When you perform this recover action, you may allow another ranger to recover instead. And then as supportive AI, Recovery Boost. When a ranger performs the recover action, they may choose to recover up to 2 fewer shields in order to draw an equal number of cards in the Alpha 5 deck. When any ranger plays an Alpha 5 card, shuffle it back into the Alpha 5 deck. So what you can have is your Loyal Robot, and this is going to be your Rules card. In this mode, 1 player controls Alpha 5 instead of controlling a ranger. During setup, that player puts the Alpha 5 character card in front of him. Loyal Robot side up, then they shuffle the Alpha 5 deck and draw a starting hand like everyone else. Alpha 5 is treated as a ranger for all game effects. Other abilities and restrictions are specified on his card. And then the opposite side is the supportive AI. In this mode, he's on an extra member of the team, not controlled by any single player. During setup, you place the Alpha 5 character card next to the power board. Supportive AI side up, you shuffle the 5 Alpha deck and place it nearby, and players can interact with the Alpha 5 or specify with this character card. So this can be another character that you can put in. It's a little bit boring to play, but can have big strategic. I like using him as a support, personally. So I quickly want to go through some of these cards. With the White Ranger, you're going to see a 3 attack, which is pretty good. But, the really big attacks we're going to need. So he's going to gain 2 crystals, which is a very nice thing to add. And deal 1 hit for enemy cards. That can be a real good way to spread things out. And his big attack is 5 hits. That's pretty darn good. With the Green Ranger cards that you're getting here for Mighty Morphin Green, attacks, which is fairly good. For the rest of the battle, the energy cost of all combat cards is reduced by 1. When you get that out as early as possible, perform this attack twice. So you can hit 2 people, which is pretty nice. And you haven't seen that a lot to this point. After resolve attack, you can perform a second attack with 2 dice. So that's something new that you're seeing here with the Green Ranger. 2 strike, which is pretty good. And then we're going to have the Rebel Ranger Slayer. She has attack 5 hits right off the bat. Ignore the guard keyword. It's pretty good. We haven't seen that before. Attack 3. The attack defeats a target to any remaining to somebody else. That's super helpful. I like that one quite a bit. Play this card to an enemy card resolves to roll 2 dice to that much hit to that enemy card. So the pink one comes through pretty heavily in this one. I like it pretty good. So here is the Mighty Morphin Red, attack 3, but you have to perform it twice. These are some new things that you're seeing. And play this when any ranger reduces their damage. That's pretty helpful. Now, for the Alpha 5, you gain 3 crystals, which is pretty useful. Play this card when a ranger suffers damage or reduce that damage by 2, so very helpful. And let's see what this one I like. Play this card when another ranger plays a card. Allow that ranger to return that card to their hand when discarding. It's going to cost you a crystal, though, so it's a high cost for that. And move one ranger from another location to another one. It costs 3 crystals, but you can move them around, which can be helpful and quite a bit of defense down there. Next thing I'd kind of like to point out is you're going to have some Power Planet cards here that you'll be adding. For the most part, you're putting some Z Putty Patrollers out. That's what you're going to have there. At the Dockyard, which is a new location, some more Z Putty Patrollers that you'll be putting out there. At the Stone Quarry, you're going to see the Tango Warriors. These are the Eagle type or Flying Bird type enemies. And then the Shopping Mall, you're going to get some of those. You're going to be putting some Tango Warriors out there. So that's a lot of foot soldiers that you're going to see added to this set. So the first set we see here are the new foot soldiers, Z Putty Patrollers. You're going to see 3s and 2s. These are some of the weaker guys that you'll meet. But they do some deal 4 damage, which is pretty tough. Deal 2 damage, but this ranger skipped their next turn, so they're going to get hit twice. Each player can time a Z Putty Patroller card, including this one's defeated, deal 2 damage. Drain a couple crystals. So not the most fierce things that you're going to see in the game, but definitely something to watch out for. And then you're going to have your Tango Wars, which will be your other kind of foot soldiers that will come out. They got some fast, but 2s and 3s is pretty much what you're going to see here. The fast can be deadly as they get the first hit on you to deal 3 damage. Move one Tango War from this location to the next location. That's not panic. So they're starting to move away and fly away. Very thematic. Each ranger must discard 1 card from their hand. I never like that. And then deal a damage, increase this damage 1 for each foot soldier. So these guys are moving around the board. It's the first time that we've seen that, but not to be surprised with birds. The first monster you're going to see is Robo Goat. You're going to see a lot of 4s and 5s through here. He is going to have a fast, deal 4 damage unless a ranger spends 2 to prevent it. Deal 1 damage, then 2, then 3. That can be pretty brutal. Deal 5 damage to the lead ranger, and that's what he's going to conclude with his staff slam. The Pumpkin Wrapper, which is one of my favorite ones to play with. You're going to see 5s, 3s, and some 4s in here. So he's going to have a fast. Each ranger must discard from the hand 1 card with an energy cost of 0. While it's in play, the ranger attacks this card. They must spend a crystal. Deal 2 damage. I hate those. Those are brutal. Damage to each ranger. So you can see somebody who can do quite a bit of damage. I think he's just fun to play with. Rhino Blaster is going to be another one. You're going to see a lot of 4s and 5s with him. Let's take a look and see what he does. Fast, so he's going to get to strike first. Deal 6 damage unless you discard 2 cards. So you can prevent it all together, which I always find it to be interesting decisions. 5 damage. This guy's brutal. Must discard a total of 4 cards. Ugh. He is something to be reckoned with. You better be prepared for Rhino Blaster. Then you have the Primator here that will come out. You're going to see 5s and 4s and 3s with his health. Let's take a look and see. A lot of passive abilities. While it's in play, he attacks a card, deal 2 to the lead ranger, deal 2 damage to each ranger. 1 ranger must discard a random card from their hand. 2 rangers discard 1 card each, and he's got the guard ability which can be brutal about who you want to attack. So that's the Primator. I don't like when I start discarding cards. I feel like it takes me out of the fight, but there he is. Here's the dreaded Evil Green Ranger. You're going to see a lot of 4s with him and some brutal 6s there at the end. He's going to be quite quick, so he'll attack first, roll 4 dice and deal that much damage to 2 different Rangers. Roll 6 dice and deal that much damage to the lead Ranger. Roll 2 dice and deal that much damage to each other Ranger. Oh, that's brutal. While this card's in play, each time a Ranger deals a hit to an Evil Green Ranger, deal 2 damage to him, and deal 6 to the lead Ranger. So this guy is somebody really to be reckoned with, and he can be very brutal if the dice are not in your favor. Here's Guy. I just find him really fun. So you get some 5s, 3s, 4s, nothing too bad here. He can be fast though. The Ranger with the most cards must discard 3 cards, deal 4 damage to the Ranger with the fewest cards, and this one in particular I like. While this card's in play, each time a Ranger deals a hit to his card, reduce it by 1. That's passive. Ooh, Guy, you are tough to deal with. Then we have the Finster, that guy. 5s and 4s, there's a couple 6s in there, so his health can be a little bit brutal to take care of. Fast and passive. While it's in play, all 4 soldiers have a +1 health. Deal 3 damage to 2 different Rangers, but also drain 3 crystals. That is ugly. Deal 3 damage, increase the damage by 1 for each foot soldier in his location. Nothing we haven't seen before, but this guy, if the right cards come out, I hate dealing with him. Now we're going to move into the bosses with Goldar. You're going to see he has 4s and 6s and 5s. He can be very, very brutal here. Deal 2 damage, increase damage by 1 for each hit token. So the more hits he takes, 4 damage to each Ranger, 5 damage to 2 different Rangers, 6 damage to the lead Ranger. And then while this card's in play, each time a Goldar card is defeated, deal 3 damage. So that can be very, very brutal. His damage is hard, and he can hit multiple people. That's ugly. Here is Lord Zed. We'll take a look at him. 6 4s and a 7. 7s can be really tough in this game. So, while this card's in play, each time a Ranger plays a card with an energy cost greater than 0, deal 2 damage to that Ranger. Now, his 7, deal damage to each Ranger equal to the number of cards in their hand. Whoa, it's fast. That could be the first thing that you have in a round. Deal 5 damage to a Ranger. Deal 12 damage divided equally among the Rangers. So if you're going after Lord Zed, you better bring the whole team, because that one can wipe you out in 1 move. Here's Scorpina. She is a boss. We'll flip her cards and take a look at them. 6s and 4s, so nothing too brutal when it comes to her health. But fast and passive, she'll deal 4 damage. After the last card in the battle resolves, this card has not been defeated, you deal 4 damage. Deal 5 damage to the one with the fewest cards in their deck. So she's going after the person that is hurt. Deal 4 damage and drain 2 crystals. I don't like that out. Deal 5 damage to 2 different Rangers. That can be pretty brutal. I don't find her to be one of the more difficult ones, but if something doesn't come out right, she can be tough to beat. Don't underestimate Scorpina. And the last boss in the set is the Wizard of Deception. You're going to have some 5s and 4s, and there's that dreaded 7 that pops up. The lead Ranger must discard their entire hand. That is so brutal. Basically takes them out of the fight. Each Ranger must draw 2 cards and discard 2 random cards. Hope it's not your good ones. And that's a fast. So that can get rid of some of your good cards. At the end of the battle, if this card has not been defeated, deal 7 damage to each Ranger. You have to hit this one. You have to hit it hard. Deal 3 damage to each Ranger and drain 2 crystals. Do not like that at all. The Wizard of Deception. You have to know what his cards are going to be. If they come out in a certain order, you can be really hosed. And you know, attack him, especially that number 7 card. Okay, so here's the miniatures that we're going to take a look at. Let's take a look at these. Here is the eyeball guy. Oof, look at that. When that's get painted up, that's going to be nasty. I mean, how would you like this guy coming over here at you? Look at all those eyes popping out. Ugh. And this is a face only a mother could love. Look at this hairy guy. And he'll be coming at you. Nice mohawk at the top there. Everything that you don't want to be. Now this happens to be one of my favorite miniatures. I like horns. I like the way they look. I like how he's coming at you. I think he's very powerful looking. The sword is sweet. I like this one quite a bit. But these are big and chunky. Not as much detail as maybe you're used to. Not anything like a Mythic Battles Pantheon. But nicer than you would get like from Fantasy Flight or anything like that. Very, very nice. Here's a new pink Ranger miniature you get in this one. No helmet, as you can see. With that bow and arrow, and you have that cape going in the wind. Very, very good. This is one of my favorite ones to play with. He's got the pumpkin head, it's upside down. I just kind of like this. It's appealing to me. I like the way that rope is going across. He just looks really, really cool. And I like this one quite a bit. And here's the new Red Ranger with this set. Now the Rangers don't have as much detail on them, but I do like the sword and the dagger coming through here. This is probably my favorite Red Ranger miniature. Maybe the Samurai one, but this one's really, really cool looking. And here's the new green miniature for the Green Ranger. You can see his pose here, action-packed. Not a lot of details on these guys, as much as some of the bad guys would have. Very cool looking. And this guy's smaller than most of them, smaller than most of the Rangers, but it allows you to get a little bit more detail. You can see that on his cape right there, just kind of how he looks, and his ears popping out. Very, very good. And this guy is a brute. I mean, you have this. He's a tough one to beat in general, but those muscles and those horns coming off and that coming through, you don't have to worry about that breaking or warping. It looks fantastic. I mean, this guy is one of my favorite miniatures in the entire set. And here's Alpha 5. He was a Kickstarter exclusive. If you got him, he's in there. Kind of reminds me of Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Very cool looking miniature. And here comes one of the more impressive looking ones. Although I'm not crazy about the face, maybe it'll look better once it's painted up. It looks better, but lots of detail on the cape and the wind blowing in it and the holes kind of in it. He's casting a spell. I like this one quite a bit. And the big one. Here's the one that's saved for the last. He's got the wings coming out, the tail in the back. You can see the sword. And this is kind of the guy I knew from Power Rangers. I didn't really watch it that much, but this is the bad guy that I kind of knew. Very impressive here. Great detail on this one. So this whole set right here is really just two miniatures over and over and over again. This guy, you can see all of them sitting up here. Then you have like the Talon guys down here. I'll show them to you. I'll show you one of each because they're all exactly the same. You can see his Z right there and his sword coming out. Very, very cool looking. And there you go. Now this guy is one of my favorite ones. I just like bird creatures that they have in games. You can see the details on the wing. You can see it's one of my favorite characters to play with is this guy. And he moves around from location to location, which is very unique. I like this one quite a bit. Now here are more of the guys you get from the base game, so I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time on it, but you can see that they're right there. And this is also the guy that you get from the base game, and he is more of those that are included. And here are some of the Rangers that you'll be adding in. You can see the detail there. These are not colored, that's the Evil Ranger. Here she is in all her glory. And the White Ranger. He is ready for battle, isn't he? And there's a giant Z, the dreaded Z. You can see the detail on his back there. Looking very good. And there's the evilness. You can see her scepter there. Very good detail. Not a whole lot through here. So what do I think of this expansion? I think this is the first expansion you should go after. I think a lot of this is Kickstarter exclusives. I think you should track this down. This has multiple monsters, multiple new Rangers, multiple bosses. There are new locations in this, new cards to play with. You have the rolling dice mechanic. You have a lot of new stuff. This is a good microcosm of everything that's kind of new in one box. Now, this doesn't include everything that you can get, but this is a great place to start. I'm assuming the prices on this will stay pretty high up. This is for people that aren't budget conscious. You're looking for a big box of goodies. You want a lot of it, and you like the base game. This is excellent. Loved it very much. This is what you should track down. If you got the disposable income to pay for it, then you will love having this. This is the number one thing you should check out if you don't have anything else. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, And everybody else, keep playing games.